So, you've probably heard this word agile thrown around. It sounds a bit like something you'd do in a gym, doesn't it? But it's actually about how people build things, like software or apps. Before Agile came along, most projects were like building a house with a very strict, unchangeable blueprint. You'd plan everything for months, sometimes years, and then you'd start building. The problem was, by the time you finished, the world had moved on. The customer might have wanted something completely different, but it was too late to change anything. It was a slow, rigid process that often ended in disappointment. This old way of doing things was called the waterfall method. Imagine a waterfall. The water only flows one way, downwards. Once you finished one stage, like designing, you couldn't easily go back. Teams worked in their own little bubbles. The designers would do their bit, then chuck it over the wall to the developers, who'd then pass it on to the testers. There wasn't much chatting between them, and often, what was delivered at the end wasn't what anyone truly needed. It was a system that created a lot of wasted time, money, and effort, leaving both the makers and the customers feeling frustrated. Then, in 2001, something changed. 17 software developers went on a skiing trip to Utah in the States. They weren't just there for the snow, though. They sat down and hammered out a new way of thinking. They wanted a method that was more flexible, more human, and more responsive to what people actually wanted. They wrote something called the Manifesto for Agile Software Development. It was basically a short document, a declaration of intent, that prioritized people and collaboration over rigid processes and paperwork. It was a rebellion against the old, slow way of doing things. This manifesto wasn't about getting rid of rules altogether. It was about finding a better balance. It valued individuals and their chats. So, this Agile Manifesto has 12 supporting principles. Think of them as the rules of the game. The first and most important one is all about making the customer happy. The goal is to deliver something useful to them, early and often. Instead of making them wait a year for the whole thing, you give them a small working piece of it every few weeks. This way, they can see progress, give you feedback, and feel involved from the very start. It's a simple idea, but it completely changes the relationship between the people making the product and the people who will actually use it. Next up is the idea of welcoming change. The old way hated change, but Agile teams embrace it. They know that even the best plans can't predict the future. A competitor might launch a new feature, customer needs might shift. Agile says that's okay. It sees change as an opportunity to make the final product even better. It's about being nimble enough to pivot when you need to. Linked to this is delivering working software frequently, from a couple of weeks to a couple of months. Short cycles mean you get feedback faster and can adjust direction without wasting time. Then there's the human side of it all. One principle says that the business people and the developers must work together daily throughout the project. No more throwing things over the wall. It's about constant conversation and collaboration, making sure everyone is on the same page. Another rule is to build projects around motivated individuals. Give them the environment and support they need, then trust them to get the job done. It sounds like common sense, doesn't it? But you'd be surprised how often projects are managed by micromanaging every single detail, which just crushes people's spirit and creativity. Finally, the principles focus on keeping things simple. Now, Agile itself isn't a strict method, it's a set of beliefs. To put those beliefs into practice, teams use frameworks. Think of it like this. Agile is the philosophy of healthy eating, while a framework like Scrum is a specific diet plan. Keto intermittent fasting. The most popular framework by far is called Scrum. It's a bit like a rugby team. A small team works together in short bursts called sprints to get a specific chunk of work done. These sprints are usually between 1 and 4 weeks long. In Scrum, everything is organized. There are specific roles. Product Owner Development Team Scrum Master. The team has a daily 15-minute meeting, called the Daily Scrum or Stand-Up. where everyone shares what they did yesterday, what they'll do today, if anything is stopping them. It's a quick, focused way to keep everyone in sync and tackle problems as they appear, rather than letting them fester. Another really common framework is Kanban. If Scrum is a structured diet plan, Kanban is more like mindful eating. It's less rigid and focuses on visualizing your work and limiting how much you're doing at once. Imagine a simple board with 3 columns: to do, doing, done. You write each task on a sticky note and move it across the board as you work on it. The key rule in Kanban is to limit your work in progress. This means you can only have a certain number of tasks in the doing column at any one time. Right, let's get our heads around some of the jargon because there is a lot of it. We've already mentioned a sprint, which is that short, time-boxed period in Scrum where the team works to complete a set amount of work. Before a sprint even starts, the team needs to know what they're building. This is where the product backlog comes in. It's basically a massive, prioritized to-do list for the entire project. The product owner is in charge of this list, making sure the most important items are right at the top. It's a living document, constantly changing as new ideas come up and priorities shift. From that giant product backlog, the team selects a small chunk of items to work on for the next sprint. This smaller list is called the sprint backlog. These items are a forecast of what the team believes it can get done in that sprint. To make sure everyone understands what a backlog item actually is, they are often written as user stories. This is a simple, plain language explanation of a feature from the perspective of the person who will use it. It usually follows a simple template. As a type of user, I want to do something so that I can achieve some goal. As a shopper, I want to filter products by price so I can find items within my budget. For example, a user story for a shopping app might be, as a customer, I want to save my credit card details so that I can check out faster next time. This format is brilliant because it forces the team to think about the why behind the work, not just the what. It keeps the focus squarely on delivering value to the user. An iteration is another word you'll hear a lot. It's basically the same as a sprint, a short repeated cycle of development. The Prince2 Agile Manual, in Chapter 2, highlights how these iterations help manage risk by allowing for frequent checks and course corrections. At the end of each sprint or iteration, 2 important meetings happen. The first is the sprint review, where the team shows what they've built to the customer and other stakeholders. It's not a stuffy presentation, it's a hands-on demo of the working product. This is where you get that crucial feedback. The second meeting is the sprint retrospective. This is just for the team. They get together to discuss what went well, what didn't, and what they can change to make the next sprint even better. It's this cycle of doing, showing, and reflecting that makes Agile teams improve so quickly. Why are so many companies, from tiny startups to huge corporations, trying to be agile? The core value lies in 3 key areas: iterative delivery, adaptive planning, empowering teams. Iterative delivery, as we've seen, means delivering the product in small, usable pieces. This is a game changer. Customers get value sooner, and the business can start earning a return on its investment much earlier, rather than waiting years for a single big bang release that might completely miss the mark. Adaptive planning is the second pillar. The world moves fast, and Agile acknowledges that. Instead of pretending we can predict the future with a perfect year-long plan, Agile planning is fluid and continuous. Teams plan in detail for the next couple of weeks, but keep the long-term plan flexible. As Chapter 2 of the Prince2 Agile Manual explains, this allows a project to respond to change without descending into chaos. It provides a way to blend the flexibility of Agile with the control and governance needed for large, complex projects, giving organizations the best of both worlds. The third, and perhaps most important piece of the puzzle, is team empowerment. Agile principles push responsibility down to the people who are actually doing the work. It trusts them to figure out the best way to build things. This creates a sense of ownership and motivation that you just don't get in a top-down, command and control environment. When people feel trusted and have a direct impact on the outcome, they are more engaged, more creative, and ultimately, they produce better work. It's about treating professionals like professionals and letting them shine. In the end, Agile isn't a magic bullet that will solve every problem. It's a mindset shift that requires discipline and commitment. But when it works, it leads to better products, happier customers, and more fulfilled teams. By focusing on delivering value in small steps, constantly adapting to new information, and trusting people to do their best work, Agile provides a powerful toolkit for navigating the complexities of the modern world. It helps teams stop just building things right and start building the right things. And in today's fast-paced world, that makes all the difference. Summary and conclusion. Understand iterative delivery, embrace adaptive planning, and empower teams. That's Agile in action.